Oh, geez. Dog alert as soon as I turn it on. Hi, everybody. This is Dee from Dee's Creative Hands Crochet. Today I'm going to do, this is really oddball, I know, but I'm using these to gain confidence to do my crochet tutorials. Okay, this is a bowling ball. You can see the holes in it. It broke right here, so it's no longer useful. I've got this stand that I actually used for a crystal ball because I collect crystals. Okay, so I'm setting it on there. It may end up on there permanently. This right here was a part of a lamp. It had a big glass ball that went over it. And when the ball broke, I thought, I'm keeping that. So this is perfect. I can glue this in there. And it'll be like a fancy top on top of my bowling ball. Everything that you see here is all vintage jewelry. I buy this stuff by the box. And to do this kind of a project, I just cut the things off the back. Like this was an earring, so I snipped it off. If it was a clip-on earring, I snipped the whole clip off. Everything to make the things kind of flat on... Ooh, that one's not very flat, is it? I got my nippers here. Let me get them. Oh, there, I broke it right off. Okay. All right, so that's what I do. And there's just the I took all the flowers. I have some butterflies and stuff like that on the other side of the bowling ball. But we're going to start out with flowers. Now, the glue I'm using is B7000, but you can use B6000. This is a really good glue for this because it gets tactile really fast. Like you put glue on the back of something and where you're going to put it, you wait a couple of seconds, and then it gets gummy. And then you put it on there, and it's going to stay. Okay, which is, it's also weatherproof. So this can go out in, you know, your flower garden or whatever. I've made them over the years where I glued pennies all over them. And if you guys know anything about it, to keep slugs out of your garden, you use copper. So I covered one in all pennies and gave it to my daughter because she had a slug problem in her flower bed, and she never seen a slug again. So there's all kinds of practical uses to these. And then there are also decorator uses. This is just like those gazing balls. You could glue mirrors and sequins and things like that all over it. This one in particular I'm doing with the jewelry I've been collecting to do this. And there's just all kinds of practical uses. You could even hang this in a plant hanger after you've decorated it. Like some of these things, let me find something, have danglies on the bottom. Now I'll put those towards the bottom of the bowling ball so it has beads hanging off the sides. Okay? And like this one. Believe it or not, this big thing was an earring. Yeah, and it has the little danglies. So I'll put that like maybe in the front so that they dangle down. Okay? So there's things like that you can do. You know, I got a bunch of these old cameos. They're not in, you know, the casing. Here, I do have one in the casing, I think. Yeah, this one. I showed you before. But these are good fillers. Everything from these little tiny pieces of jewelry. Some of this might be real diamonds for all I know. I just buy them like on Macari. I'll buy a whole box for like 30 bucks. And it'll come and it'll just be stock full of this old jewelry, old vintage jewelry. So that's a place where you can get it. A lot of times you can pick them up at garage sales and things like that. I use the beads and stuff for my necklaces and bracelets and stitch markers and all that. And I use this kind of stuff for this. You can also decorate bags with this kind of stuff. Like for instance, no, that's not good one to do. Let me find one that would be good, like this. Okay? You could take a needle, you could put this on the front of a bag, you know, or one of your crochet items, and just sew it, go in the holes, and sew it down. It becomes a decorative piece. So there's a lot of stuff that you can use this jewelry for, but this particular today, I'm going to be using it on the bowling ball. Okay, so I'm going to get started. I think I'm going to lay, because this is going on here, I'm going to lay flatter things on the top. Things that will, you know, lay flatter. And then on the outer part, I can get a little bit more with the bumpier flowers, like this one, for instance. See? Okay, so that's what, and then this will be the last thing that I put over the top and glue on that way. Okay, I also have this plaque. I believe, oh yeah, look, I paid 25 cents for it. It's probably at a thrift store or a garage sale. More than likely a thrift store from the tags. But anyway, something like this could be glued on the front as well. Okay, I also have a big gold butterfly. This was a wall hanging ornament. These right here are used in jewelry making. I thought I might put a few keys on it. I like to just kind of run with it. I also have, let me show you, these little white doves. Can you see them? A bunch of these little plastic white doves, and I may put them in places I couldn't fit things and just give it a little pop. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Oh, what do I want to start with? Alright, flatter objects. Okay, so I don't want to put any around this hole because that's the hole right there that I'm putting that large piece in. So I have no idea where those things are, so that's why I want to do flatter pieces. Okay, I put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue there. Just wait a few seconds and put it in place. Okay, let me find some more flat stuff. But I also don't want to hide it. You know, I want the prettier stuff to be on the outer part of the ball. Okay, let me see. It's not really flat. This is flatter. Oh, I didn't do it right. Maybe I better creep it over there a little bit more. It's gonna stay? Looks like it. Okay, this one, I'm gonna have to glue around the edges. Just get them as close as you can to one another. Okay, I'm going to work on this a little bit, and then I'll be back so you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. See you in a minute. Okay, so I started putting some of this on. I'm going to glue this down, this top piece, down tighter and flip it upside down. But you can see I just kind of pieced all the different jewelry in here. Some of them have danglies, you know. Some of them are just sparkly and whatever. And I'm going to flip it upside. I'm going to glue this, flip it upside down so it's held in place. And I'm going to glue all around the sides and bottom. And that's the next step to putting all the jewelry on it. And then after that, we will fill in the little gaps with sequins or beads or something like that, just to fill in all these little gaps. And then I will show you what I mean about having the things hanging from the bottom. That's, you know, oh, my dog alert. You know, we're going to have some things. And then I have some, like, little butterflies and things. Just little doodads. This is just a real artsy piece. It's not for everybody. But it's something you can do with an old bowling ball. And like I said, you could even put pennies all over it and put it in your flower garden. And it keeps the slugs away. So, just something I do every once in a while when I've accumulated a bunch of the vintage jewelry that I'm not going to use on bags, or like this one I'll save, and I'll use this one on a boho bag, something like that. You know, decorate something, you know, a purse or whatever. There's some things that I will keep for that purpose, and there's others that I really don't have a purpose for, so that's what I end up putting on my bowling balls and using in my multimedia art. So anyways, that's the next step, and I will show you when I've got the bottom done. Okay, as you can see, I'm working my way around the bowling ball. Here's the top. We want the prettiest things in this area because that's what mostly people are going to see. As you get towards the bottom, I'm not going to put anything on the very bottom, but I am going to put some things that dangle, if I have any left, towards the bottom so it kind of hangs down. And then, like I said before, I'll fill in, like I just glued these, so these are going to take a little while. And I'm using the B7000. And I just kind of fill it in like a puzzle. And then when that's all done, in between the creases, if I feel like I don't like what's underneath showing, I can, like I said, use seed beads or sequins or whatever. I also have all these little doves that I could put in the places that are showing, see? So you just kind of use your imagination. And I'm continuing around. I had that box sitting there to hold this down because I did glue that in place. And I just kind of had that pushing against that for right now while I'm working on this side. But I'll only go down about this far, and then I'll stop, and then I have to turn it and do some more on the next side. But this glue takes a little while to dry, so I have to let it sit for a little while before I continue on. I'll be back. Okay, this is the finished product. I finished putting all the jewelry on it. I added some glitter to the top. Put all my little birds on. I actually put glitter in between some of it. I don't know if you guys can see that. And there's some danglies on the bottom. And that's it. And this I'll probably leave in my house, and I'll put it in the house. You can take these and hang them with a plant hanger. Looks pretty cool, or put them out in your garden. And that's it. That's how you take you repurpose old vintage jewelry and an old beat up bowling ball. So this is more for the artsy folks. I know this isn't for everybody, but I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Bye-bye.